I'd request Dr. Abhilasha Vyas to kickstart the Women in Big Data session for us. Thank you.
Thank you, Soumya, for inviting me. Thank you. So I've presented my screen and I just need a confirmation, Soumya, that it is this visible, my audio is clear?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, okay, thank you. So before starting this session, as Soumya told me to introduce myself, so would like to introduce that I'm associated with Women in Big Data India chapter from 2020 October, when we initially launched this chapter on 2nd of October. And before October we met and we decided that we will be starting this. I'm working with Cloud Technologies as a vertical head cloud security, and I'm delivering trainings on cloud security services which Azure is providing and also AWS Cloud as well. And I have 20 years of experience, which is combination of academia and industry. And I'm part of other communities also, because my motto is that if you know something and if you got the opportunity to work as a woman, we should also give the opportunity to other women to come into this field. So I'm part of Women in Big Data as an Executive Council member. I'm part of Advisory Board Cyber Preserve, Breaking Barrier, and also I'm part of InfoSec Girl as a Gujarat chapter lead. And also I'm member of OVAS, so I'm trying my level best to help other women to come in the technical area. And this is just a one step which we have taken to help the other women to come in the data science field. So today I will introduce you that what India chapter is doing, what is the goal of starting Women in Big Data India chapter, what is our motto, what kind of programs we are working. So this is the outline of my talk which I'll be covering. So I'll be talking about the global vision and mission of WiBD, when it started, how it started, and wherever we have reached. So I'll just give you a glimpse of that. Also, I'll be introducing the chapter and the executive council as well. The very dynamic directors of India chapter, Soumya and Ekta, I'll give you introduction to that. And what kind of opportunities we see in India when we talk about the opportunities in big data sector. That also I will highlight a little bit in this presentation. Then, as I discussed, structure and the programs for WiBD India chapter, what we design. So we have a very, very unique structure which is not available in any other chapter across the globe. So what all programs we have, I'll be sharing that, and I'm very, very sure that you all will be very, very excited to take participation in all those programs. I'll be sharing that not only we are taking participations and involving corporate or industry persons, but we are also asking universities to come, because we want to start this education from the university level itself, because then only it is the time when a person is going to decide the career. So if we can train the university student, then it will be better for them to select the career as a data science professional. So we are making the chapters with universities, and then we are training the female members of the chapter. Yes, definitely we are not asking male not to join, but our main motto is to promote females in the university. Then how we can join India chapter, what are the social media handles we have. And all social media handles, the website, everything is managed by the volunteers of WiBD India chapter. Also partnering with WiBD India chapter, what goals we have, and also I'll share a few glimpses of the programs which we have designed and we have executed and organized in last 1 year. So I'll show you all those things. At any point of time, if you have any question, you can post that in the chat, or Soumya is there to answer those questions. So in person also you can discuss your questions with Soumya. So we know that a lot of obstacles are there. Like if I say that, if we talk that obstacles for women in STEM, yes, we know that, because 6 to 12, if you see in this particular chart, so age 6 to 12, 66% of girls and 68% of boys in 4th grade report likely science, right? But if you say age 45 to 65, only 3% of, I'll just minimize this, yes, only 3% of Fortune 500 CEOs are female. Why there is a difference in this particular figure? Because we know that there are obstacles for women. As a woman, if I see that, I also see some obstacles that I cannot travel a lot. because I have my family, I want to take care of my kid, but yes, with that, I want to make my career also. So similar to that, we see that a lot of women are there, those who want to make their career, but they are not getting this much of opportunity, or they are not getting opportunity to train themselves so that they can get such opportunities. So because of this gap, which we see, so few women in July 2015, under the leadership of Silicon Valley, Intel, SAP, IBM members, female members, they started an initiative in which they decided to come and talk about the goals, job opportunities, learning opportunities, transition in the career. So they decided to discuss all those things, and they started this particular initiative, which is Women in Big Data, with 15 people in July 2015. And if you see the number, because this concept is liked by women across the globe, and not only women, we have a lot of men supporting us in this particular initiative. And if you see, we have 20,000 plus members across 6 continents with 40 chapters. And our India chapter is also one of this chapter. So globally, we have presence in terms of 40 chapters, 6 continents, and the number is increasing. It is just mentioned as a 20,000 plus. But I'm sure that this is a big number which we can show as a community, which is basically conceptualized for helping women to come and take the opportunity in Big Data Center. So Women in Big Data, as I want to summarize, is a global volunteer-driven organization with mission is to cultivate tangible opportunities for women. That is important. For making this and for making this happen, we have a very strong program which I am going to share with you. Also unlock latent potential through accessible training and act as a catalyst for advancement with thought leadership. So we are not only thinking about the women, those who are on the positions, but we are looking for the women, those who are just starting their career, or if they have any gap, they want to restart their career. So we want to promote and empower equity allies of any gender with inclusive mentorship, with the vision that a future. So if I take much time, please stop me, because in this topic we can talk a lot, you know that. So what is the vision is that a future in which gender and resources don't limit equitability, equitable participation in big data, influence career, and we value, connect, cultivate and champion. So these are the things which is mission and history coming for Women in Big Data global community. Then we have chapters in that. So if you see, this is a global organizational structure. We have chapters, we have directors of every chapter. So in India also we have a chapter, and we have associations with industries and with universities. So I'll be sharing that with you. So these are our global sponsors and partners we have, from which we are getting help, not only in terms of, I'll just reschedule this. Just give me a minute. Sorry for this disturbance. Technology always behave weird when we want that. Okay, so it will be going to reschedule 10:36 p.m. Okay, perfect. Yes. So I'll continue. So these are our global sponsors and partners which are helping us a lot in organizing the events. They are sponsoring us. Whenever we have any conference, we are looking for speakers, we are looking for sponsors, so we are reaching out to these partners. This is not an entire complete list. The list is very long, but we have just added few couple to mention. Now I'll just quickly move to the India chapter. That what we do in India chapter. So as I told you that we have a very two dynamic, hardworking ladies with us. Those who are motivating every day that yes, we have to do something for women in India to promote big data and data science in India. So WiBD Foundation is a non-for-profit Section 8 company which is registered in Vadodara, Gujarat, India. Ekta Mehul and Soumya Moni is director of this particular chapter. Dr. Ekta Mehul is very, very dynamic and having a lot of positive energy. You know Soumya also, so they both are equally same likely-minded people. Together driving this force in India and motivating us also to do a lot of activities for women. So she is director and CEO Orina Solutions Private Limited. She is having around 25 years of experience, and Soumya is director Incture Technologies Private Limited. You know she is your girl. So I'm not going to talk much about Soumya. So I'll just give you a brief about the executive team who is supporting these dynamic directors and leaders of India chapter. We have Piyush Sharma, myself is also executive member. We have Sridevi Murugan with 17 plus years of experience. Bindu Narayana, 20 plus years of experience. So we all are coming together, we all are connected because of this noble cause to promote women in big data. We also have Dr. Sudhindra Kaushik, we have Dr. Jasdeep from Indira Gandhi Technical University, we have Meenakshi Arun from Microsoft. So we all executive council members are meeting every week to discuss the points and the events which we can plan. So I'll show you a few glimpses also for the events. So very dynamic executive committee we have and very dynamic directors we have. So you can see that what kind of events we are planning. So little bit discussion on the data potential in India if you see. So we can see that according to LinkedIn, I think this is not visible, so I'll just mention it, 12%. According to LinkedIn in India, 12% and 50% of women pursue data science related career or academia only. And internet traffic in India is expected to increase 4-fold from 21 exabyte in 2016. When we see 2020, we know that this number is like many folds increased now. So there are opportunities because most of the time, as I told you, that obstacle is that women is not ready to relocate. They have their own boundaries. Now they are breaking those boundaries because of the remote work which they are getting. So why not to take that opportunity? Why not to take this data opportunities which is available in India by taking such remote jobs, work from home jobs. So the potential is a lot, but we need to motivate our members to take such opportunities. And we cannot say that you just come and take the jobs in data science. We need to train those members also. But how we can train those people? For that only we have designed the program. So what is India chapter goal is to improve women representation in data and its allied fields across industry and academia at a grassroots level. So this is our goal, and with that goal, I'll just show you this. Okay, so this is the India structure, what we do and what are the responsibilities. So I'm not going in that. What I want to give time on this slide, that we have these programs which are very, very strong programs which we have designed with a very strong thought process, and we have given a name as an Indian goddess like Vidya. So when we talk about Vidya, we want to give some kind of learning experience in terms of organizing lectures, panel discussions, webinars. So what we are doing is we are giving some kind of Vidya to the students. So we are talking about the university participation in Vidya, where we want to train students so that they can understand the power of data science field. So we are having and organizing contests, we are having awareness program, counseling sessions. So all these kind of events we are planning under Vidya. Then we have Saraswati, which is industry driven curriculum. Now when you have a basic understanding which is related to academia, you all are from corporate, you can understand that when we learn something in university and when we come to corporates, it's a different picture. We have just seen the trailer in the university, but now movie is yet to come. So that's what we are doing in Saraswati, that we are designing industry-driven curriculum so that these people, those who are trained with basic understanding of the data science, now they are ready after completing these programs for the industry, and this is what we want. And this is our goal. So the Saraswati program is designed like data science program for certifications, short-term courses. Also, we have an association with NASSCOM, so we have few certified programs with NASSCOM on data science specifically. Shakti, if we talk about, this program is targeting restarting your career or your education. So what we are doing is, we are helping the women to come and start their career. If they have taken a break because of the family or because of some other reason, they can take the opportunity from the Shakti program. They can get the job opportunities which we are posting on the portal and also in the groups also in which the women are joining. We have a very strong mentor and mentee program from which the women are taking help, those who are connected with us. And Gayatri is also developing leaders in data science and related fields. So we are bringing industries on board. Also we are getting mentors from the industry, because we know if someone know the actual implementation of the things, that person is able to explain those things more efficiently to the other person. So that's why we have selected mentors from industry technical mentor, leadership role member, CXO levels member. So these are the members, those who are sharing their experiences, and people are learning from that. And also we have a very exciting program, Lakshmi, for students and for the people, those who are looking for jobs. So for which we are planning job fairs, campus placements, internship opportunities. So all these things we are giving in a single bundle, that is a WiBD India chapter, which is an initiative we started to promote women representation in across the TAC, specifically women in big data. If I just show you the university partner, we have Indira Gandhi Technical University, Delhi, we have Christ University, and we have GSFC University in Vadodara. So these are the 3 university chapters we have. Very soon we are going to launch few more university chapters, because we are not looking for the numbers, we are looking for the quality association with the universities. So that's the main motto behind this. And we also have industry partners, Incture, Infiletics, Odina, Amplify, Shiros, Cottage, from where we are getting the internship and job opportunities. So what I'll do is quickly I'll take you to the Women in Big Data website, so which you can go and visit this also, womenInBigData.in. So I'll just show you the programs which we have already organized. So if you see, these are the events, and this website is also maintained and managed by the volunteers of WiBD. We are not doing anything. We are just telling them that you have to organize this event, you have to design the poster, you have to upload that. So students are learning managerial skills also when they are connected with us. They are learning those skills with data science skills also. So if you see, we have Gayatri program launch, Shakti program launch. So all the programs we have launched, and these are the activities which we have planned, where we are talking about the data science, different aspects of data science, security of data science. All these things we are managing, and we are inviting members from across globe so that they can come and share their experiences. So if you see, every kind of field we have touched upon, and more events are coming soon in the future. And if you see, we have interns also with us, and they perform very good performance in the industries. They got the opportunity during their graduation itself, and they are doing a lot of things. They are learning a lot of things with us. So this is the thing which I wanted to share with you. I just go back and just quickly summarize the presentation. Just wanted to give you an overview that what we are doing. So these are the industry and academia partner engagements which we have, events we are organizing, as I have given few glimpses also. Placement activities also we are doing. So if any industry is looking for placement drive, they want to conduct, they want a good candidates for the data science field. So we are helping them also, because they are connecting with us. And this is all non-profit. We are not looking for any kind of profit or remuneration. Our main motto is to help this community to grow together in India, and also skill building, as I've shared, mentor-mentee program, and also investment in incubation startups as well. So these are the few partner engagements we have. Now we have a website where you can go and visit, womeninbigdataindia.in. Very simple URL, easy to search. We have LinkedIn page where you can go and follow just to check that what kind of activities we are planning. We are also on Twitter, we are on Instagram as well, and on Facebook as well. So all these handles are managed by the volunteers only. And then if you want to become a partner, definitely you can reach out to Soumya, or you can reach out to Ekta also. And you can also go to and send a mail on info mail ID also, which we are keeping for connecting and replying a common mail ID where we can receive all kind of mails. So we all are connected. Any social media page you can go and you can connect with us. So these are few goals. I'm not going in the detail of these goals, because we are non-profit, but then also we are target oriented. So we have kept certain targets, and I'm very happy that we are achieving and we are exceeding the targets also every year. So this is the 1 year only we have completed in the October 2021, but I'm planning that we will be going to exceed these targets in the next year also. Okay, so these are the chapters I've discussed. Okay, so they are the detail about the chapters: Indira Gandhi Technical University, about the GSFC University, and about Christ University. Okay, so that's it from my side. I've taken a lot of time. Soumya told me to take 15 minutes, but I've taken a little bit more, because there is a lot of things which we can talk about India chapter. Very, very excited to be part of India chapter, and I'm sure that if you will be joining us, it will be a fun. Yeah, so that's it from my side. And if you have any questions, you can reach out to Soumya, or you can reach out to us also. I have shared the mail IDs with you. So that's it from my side, Soumya.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Abhilasha. That was such a spirited and passionate presentation. I must say, I really full of gratitude towards you for growing the chapter in your state and in the country. So proud of you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Soumya. Thank you. Please, Himashni.
Thank you. Thank you, Abhilasha. Himashni is actually our volunteer, and the spirit of community first approach is really, I see in her, and she's been with us. She's actually dialing from Coimbatore, so she's been associated with Women in Big Data. She reached out to me on LinkedIn, and she said she wants to be part of it, and she's ever since then she's been supporting so many of these programs herself. I want her to speak about her internship and her volunteering experience with us. Mashni, over to you.
Thank you. Hello everyone. First of all, good evening. I'm Himashni from Coimbatore, Tamil Nadu. I currently work in Fluorpacker Enterprise and I volunteer in WiBD India. So I've been in WiBD for the past 6 months. So during this period, I've been managing the Gayatri and Shakti program from behind the scenes. So these are two of our flagship programs, and as Ms. Abhilasha mentioned before, Gayatri aims at offering the right platform for mentoring aspiring women by associating them with current leaders in the technical field. Here we form cohorts of mentor and mentee, so where the mentor will guide the mentee to upskill herself. So whereas Shakti, it helps women who want to restart their career after they have taken a break from their career due to any personal reasons. So we have a pool of mentors who help the women to upskill themselves and become market ready. So currently we have 5 cohorts under both of our programs. So you can view all these details on our website, the link that has been mentioned in the previous slides. So, and other than this, we run 3 other programs, and all the programs' intention is to empower women in the tech industry. About my volunteering journey in WiBD, it has been enriching so far. So being part of WiBD, I've been able to interact with so many aspiring women in the technical industry, so many leaders, and each and every interaction has taught me something about the career or any life lessons to learn about. So it has helped me have insights on career growth and also about how to plan my career. So since I'm responsible for managing different programs and activities, it also has helped to improve my management skills a lot. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you, Himashni. Thank you. It's volunteers like you who actually make WiBD grow. So thank you for your contributions. Now I would request Madhushruti to introduce herself. She's an expert with us, and she's been associated with us for a little over 3 months now. Madhushruti, is that correct? Yes. She and I go way long. I think back in HP, she used to lead analytics there. Now she's doing some super duper stuff in Novartis. So excited to hear something about you, Madhushruti. Over to you.
So, can you guys see my screen and hear me properly?
Yes, we can.
Yes, okay. Cool. So first of all, Soumya, thank you so much. And Dr. Abhilasha, it was lovely to hear and your passion and how you talked about women and how we should have more women and get more women into this. So this was really, really good, and happy to collaborate as much as possible. And I can see a few people sitting there. So hello, my name is Ms.Madhushruti Roy. Giving a little bit about myself is that I have an economics background. I've done my master's in economics, that is from economics in Delhi. And then I started my career in India, in Bangalore. So I started with GP Capital, and that's where I learned the whole magic of big data, as most of you must have done. So how we can tell a story from data, and what is big data, what is consumer, and how this story can actually impact business decision. So what I learned in GE, I have to say, has been the foundation of my career, and I still use it so far. So whenever I meet students, I mean, I always say that your first 3-4 years of learning in big data is extremely important, and I believe that I've got a very, very good foundation there, which I could leverage going forward. So I did about 5 years in India. So I did GE, then I did HP. That's where Soumya was also there, and then I moved to London. And there I did Deloitte Strategy. So I joined Deloitte Strategy Consulting, and that was where I think I got lucky. Every time I think I started riding the wave, and that's when, about maybe 10 years ago, strategy consulting started using a lot of data. Yeah. So I got into Deloitte Strategy Consulting, and I worked mainly across consumer industries, and I've done quite a lot of work around discounting, pricing. I was also heavily involved in a lot of mergers and acquisitions. So I think that's where I got from data. I started learning big strategy. I started learning structure. And then I joined Unilever. I was in Unilever for 6 years. I did revenue management, and I did a lot of portfolio strategy for them. And currently I am a global director in Novartis in Singapore doing revenue management. So that's me. I've worked in India, I've worked in London, Singapore, and then I have to say that I'm a proud volunteer, expert volunteer of WiBD India. So so Soumya asked me to say something about big data applications across industries. Now, I understand that most of you are already working with big data, and what I have now, what I would like to talk about, might not be like a eye opener or something, but I'd still like to explore, and I'd like to share some of the work that I have done, which I have enjoyed thoroughly, and where I thought that it was able to impact business very, very effectively. Yeah. So this is my agenda. I'll talk about evolution of big data, what is big data, industries, and a few applications. Now, in terms of I think, again, I said that you guys know what it is. So I wouldn't go too much into it, but then we all know that once organizations started having the capacity for data and leverage data, that's where the big data became fuel for growth, and that became a competitive advantage. And most of us who have been working for at least 10-15 years, we know that our career path has also moved with the movement of big data. For personally, I can say that from a data strategist, I've become a business strategist, and how using data has given me competitive advantage. So, that is what has happened, and we have rode along with it, and companies have benefited manifold with the use of data, right? And then, so what does data? I was thinking myself that what does data give? And the simple way, if I have to tell it to anyone, maybe to my 6-year-old, I thought data does something very, very simple. Data gives me insights, and data lets me take informed decisions. And when I take informed decisions, that is where I can impact my business. That is where we can take decisions, which is a win-win, not only for the consumers but also for us. I think that is what data does. And that is again I said, the magic of data. Then, like in terms of industries, again, most of you already know it's being used across all industries, rapidly being adopted. Started mainly with the finance, banking, credit card industry, where because of the proliferation of data, or maybe there was so much data available, so that is where it started. And now just name it, and we have everywhere, from the retail, from FMCG, fashion industry, e-commerce, media, healthcare. We're not, it's impossible to put everything. And I think I have been fortunate work in most of it, and I thought that I should be just sharing some of the applications that I personally have used across in my career, and have made some impact to the business, I hope. So with this, I'll talk about a few. Some of it, again, I'm sure you guys are already doing it. So I wanted to start it with the classic case of data, of insights. Like when I joined GE, so one of the questions, because I was working with the PLCC, the private level credit cards. So one of the questions that came across is that which credit card consumers will default. And the first thing I remember telling that, the consumers who are poor, who has less income. And they said, no, this is not how we do. So they said, go and explore the data. And that is where I started doing I learned logistic regression. I learned how to look at all the variables and then see what data unravels for us. Yeah. So again, this is very generic. This is not the actual model. But then, yes, we found that, that last month default, number of times consumers defaulting is a very, very significant variable. No regular income. So we found that there might be a consumer who has good income, but he doesn't have a regular income. That impacts consumer default. Then adding more and more cards to the kitty. Especially in US, we have seen that an average person has about 22 cards. So people are actually transferring balances. People are trying to, if I can say, play up the game. So adding more credit cards in the kitty and address change. When consumers keep changing addresses, these 4 or 5 variables became extremely significant for us to identify defaulters maybe 2 to 3 months ahead so that we can action it. Okay? And this kind of logistic regression, this kind of statistical analysis was extremely impactful because we were able to identify, action them, and stop the losses. So this is one of the classic case of logistic regression, classic case of understanding who the target consumer is, and then most importantly recommending how we identify, how we action on it. So in banking sector, credit card, finance sector, insurance, this is one of the classic example that you guys must also use. Then I also wanted to talk about another one, which is again something that we have all used, cluster analysis, right? Where we start looking at consumers and we come up with different groups who are homogeneous within the group, but very different across the group. Yeah, and once we know who my consumer is, and once we know what are their key points relevant to what I am looking for, I can actually take business decisions. So this is something from Unilever. This is a beauty product that we were trying to engage consumers with, and we wanted to understand how many or what are the different kind of consumers we have here. So very interesting stuff, like a teenager, where the key factor of decision is that my mom takes the decision. So then we know that I need not talk about the product to the teenager. I need to talk about the mom. So if you remember some of the classic examples or some of our communications, maybe clinic class, there's always a mom maybe combing the hair of a child. So the key insight that we get is that mom takes the decision. Yeah. So if I talk about like hijab women, their key thing is that my body is covered. I don't need a beauty product. And then how we educate them that even if your body is covered, there is something that your body still needs, your skin still needs, and I make targeted products for them. And then we saw somebody like a working mom who says that I don't have the time. And then we said, okay, there are some moments that you have to have during the whole day where you need a product. So when you understand your consumer to this extent, you can also target it in a way that maybe for a teenager, the target was not the product, the target was the communication. We need to just communicate. For a hijab women, we have to actually come up with a new product that actually works for somebody whose skin is always covered. Yeah. So again, these are the kind of insights that we get, and we can actually use them for our communication, for our product portfolio, which has, the benefits are like outstanding when we see the kind of results that we see. So this is again, a typical case of cluster analysis, but I wanted to put this out for a kind of insight that comes and how we use this. Most importantly, how we are using these insights to actually target them. I don't know how much time I have. Maybe I'll talk very, very quickly about, again, something that we know, that how Amazon, Amazon says that they are the most consumer-centric company in the world. So what does that mean? So when you look at what they are doing, basically they're trying to understand how and what, right? So what is it that consumers want and how do they want it? So they say, okay, I have an Amazon Prime, you're going to get it like in 1 day, or you will get it in 3 days, whatever. And most importantly, they have started anticipating what we want. So every time we see that Amazon has new recommendation for you based on your items, you might also like it. So like sometimes I know that if there is my daughter's birthday party and I type for a return gift, so I just have to type return gift, and then I say that consumers have also bought. Then you have all the confetti, the decor, the birthday cake. So I think now I'm more reliant on Amazon to tell me how should I plan my birthday party, or what should I buy, rather than me searching for each of the products. So what could be a better example of using data to understand consumer? So from a manufacturing point of view, if you're an Unilever or P&G, etc., then what happens is that we use this to actually make bundles and discount promotions, etc. But then again, this is another example of how data is being used to become the most consumer-centric company in the world. Yeah, and then these are all examples we can relate to, but there's a lot of data, there's a lot of analysis that happens behind it, and that's what I wanted to know. Let me just tell you maybe one more, like how Netflix tells us what we should watch. And that again, nowadays we are so much dependent on them, because I know if I watch something, they'll give me something that I need to watch. So this is another, how the data is being used. You can see that in the transportation industry. So if you're using an Uber or a Grab, you know that when you go to office, that time you have a surge pricing. During the day, the pricing is less. Then again, while coming back from office, that time, your peak hours, how they are using to maximize the pricing strategy. So, and then they also use live data. So when I was in London, I worked for one of these companies, and then I saw that how they are using live data. So they know that, okay, if there is rain or there is no more traffic and people are waiting to get a taxi, immediately how do you increase the price? Then how actually you are using data, how you are using the analysis, the past pattern to predict your future and make business decisions. So these are some of the very, very common examples that we see, and then I have used it in my career with outstanding results. Soumya, do I have like a minute or so? Or
yeah, can you hear me, Madhushruti?
Do I have another minute or so, or this is, or I'm over time? I can't.
No, you're okay. You're doing good. You have another 5 minutes to go. If you have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So with this, I have one of my most favorite examples that I generally talk whenever I talk to mainly students or anyone talking about data science. Is that so all the things that I have told, I'm sure you guys have used, and it is with big data, with understanding pattern, past, present. Past is predicting the future, etc. But what happened during the pandemic was amazing, because we never saw a pandemic before, right? Most of us in our lifetimes haven't seen a pandemic. And the question I got from my executive vice president was that, now what do I do? What is my new trend that is coming up and I need to respond to? Then I did not have big data. I did not have trends, I did not have analysis, I did not have consumer connect to tell me what is the trend and what is that I need to do. So then what happened is that we listened to social media, So one of the things that when we went through the Instagram post, when we went through the Facebook post and the Twitter post, we saw that one of the major issue that is coming in the skin or in the beauty space is that because people are wearing masks, there is acne is coming. Okay? And that is what people are calling the mask and acne. So when we heard so much in Instagram, Twitter, etc., we thought, okay, this is a trend. This is a trend that is coming up in like every day, So you don't have big data or past 3 years or 5 years to analyze, but what I'm trying to say is that the concept of big data, the concept of analytics is changing because of social media. So you get it, you see it. So we, as a data strategist, we should always keep our eyes and ears open. And then we said, okay, this is a problem. We worked with the R&D department, figured out why there is an acne when you wear a mask. And then we came up with so many, we came up with products, but most importantly, we came up with so many communications. So this is one of the Pond's communication, as you can see. And because there were so many products which was already there that can be used for this. And this is not only us. I mean, you can see Olay doing it, L'Oreal. I mean, everyone did it. So why I said that this is an important, my favorite example is because, as I said, that the concept, entire concept, everything is evolving, and data science is also evolving, and there is big data, there is AI, there is so much going on, but then at the end of the day, as a business strategist, as someone who is helping others to take business decision, the most important thing is to stay aware, to see around what's going on, and help business take business decisions. Then again, this was one of my most favorite projects. I've been highly credited for this program that I landed in the category, and I thought I should share it with you. I know that there's a spelling mistake. Sorry for that. But yes, I mean this is what it is, and as I'm saying that most of it maybe you guys are already using it, but just wanted to share my experience of how I am using it, how it is helping my career, how I have moved from being a data strategist to a business strategist, and how it is still so fascinating. Yeah, with that, I think I can close. So this is what I want to share with all of you. Thank you. Thank you, Soumya. This is it.
Thank you so much. I really am indebted to all three of you for turning up at such a short notice. So wonderful session. I would like to ask any one of you if you have any questions for even the folks who are participating on the Zoom. Are there any questions? There is a question.
Thank you so much for the insightful segment, Madhushruti. The quick question I have is, so I'm part of the consumer industries vertical in Incture, and we have a lot of conversations with our clients. And one thing that keeps coming up every so often is that there are these probabilistic solutions, there are these deterministic solutions, right? And we are now talking about explainable AI, cognitive, and things like that. So how do you think those conversations should be taken up with the with the clients? Because not everybody tends to come with the same background. Or how do you probably address that in your conversations?
Fantastic. What an amazing question, because I have also moved from, I think that from this side to the other side when I was talking data, and then I started asking, what do you mean? Talk business. The only thing, you're talking AI, you're talking cognitive, you are talking the most sophisticated models. When I'm sitting there trying to sell a cream or whatever, my job is just to sell. So talk business. Talk to me about how whatever you are doing will help me understand who my consumer is, whatever industry it is, and how I'll be able to solutionize that. Okay, so all the data that we use, all the technology that we use is actually an enabler. Okay, and when you talk with clients, that is what we also face. Some of the boutique agencies come from India, fantastic people, but sometimes they don't talk business. And that is what when clients call me, and I always say talk business. So what you do is that the technology is actually very, very good at this point of time. So what I would suggest is that when you go and talk to the client, understand the business problem, okay, and then give them a solution. And your technology slide could be one slide, and I'm sold. I will give you the job if you can tell me that you will solve the problem. Okay, so it's basic human nature. Everybody is coming to you guys to get a solution to the problem. So talk business. Long story short is that talk business. Try and understand them, what they are coming from. And another thing that I wanted to let you know is that all clients understand their business. Okay, so most of the time, sometimes we feel that, they don't know. We understand the business. Give us more perspective. Tell us that if you are Novartis, this is what GSK is doing. You might not want to name them. So give us the perspective, give us a business solution. We totally understand that you know the technology. So yeah, so a conversation has to be business oriented. That would be my. Yeah.
Thank you.
A great question. Thank you.
Anyone else would like to ask a question? Anything from the HR, analytics space, talent acquisition, data, mining in talent acquisition? Anita, please come forward.
Hi, thanks.
Hello.
Hi, thanks Soumya for this. So question is, you see a lot of HR data coming up in your organizations. How do you basically make the math of data into AI? For example, if you're building a particular tool or if you're supporting a particular tool. Because where I'm coming from is if you have recruitment data or behavior pattern which is coming in from data, how do you give that information back to analytics and say, okay, this is the probability, this is the math you can do around behavior assessments, or
So you're saying HR data, recruitment data, review data,
That's
right?
That's
So what they are saying.
That's right.
So how are we doing it? How is Amazon doing? They are just looking at the reviews, right? They're looking at the reviews. Yeah. So here what happens? Sorry, I didn't catch your name. What happened? Yeah. Hi. So what happens is that that was what I pointed to when I showed you the last example. Sometimes you have a lot of data and you can use all the statistical methodology. Sometimes you have qualitative data where you need to make sense, okay? And what I would say that start with a hypothesis and then I'll analyze the data. Most of the time we say that, okay, what are my hypotheses of somebody leaving the company? Salary, bad boss, whatever, communication is bad, etc. And then see if those patterns are coming. And sometimes, so basically, what you have to do is start with if you do not have the millions of data transaction that we can use in a banking sector or credit card sector or a consumer sector, start with the hypothesis. And when you start with the hypothesis, I will again emphasize the same thing as that align with business. Align with business, are these and hypothesis making sense, 4, 5, 6 hypotheses, and then start working backward. Yeah, and then if you have a lot of information, then you can use statistics through it. But even with 1,000 data points, I would say start with the hypothesis and see if you can fit. And what happened? The outliers most of the time give you very interesting stuff. So you might think that bad boss and salary and something, but someone might say, yeah, I'm getting married and I'm going to US, and what do I do? Then you might say that maybe a work from home might work. So come up with the hypothesis and you will see the outlier will give you the most interesting insight. So that would be my view.
Have you tried such data analysis with any other companies where you have come up with some conclusions?
Yes. So basically, I have not done HR data. Maybe that's one piece I haven't done. I haven't done HR data. But we have started, why does somebody want to sell a company? So basically, when you are in a merger and acquisition, what happens? We try and figure out which are my hotspots that I can go to, which are the 10 companies that I should write an email to. So one of the question I was trying to answer is that who will respond? Yeah, who will respond? So company growing bigger, this is the time they can't scale anymore, or some issues with the management, or the company is actually not doing well, and that's why they want to do, or something, But so we started with those hypotheses. So these are the 3-4 reasons why I should go and approach it. But what the answer we got is the outlier, is the long-term vision of the company. If the long-term vision of the company is to sustain the company, then they will not sell it to you. If the long-term vision was profit, they will sell it to you. So I can give one of the examples. This was not HR, but this is where we started with intuition. And this is something I did in Deloitte, and I think it worked well for us. But yeah, that is an answer. I think
that's a good example. Yeah, profit
Thank
and,
you.
Sustainability. Yeah, I think we'll go with sustainability.
Thank you so much for the insights. I think it was a lovely session, and thanks for the great examples, Madhushruti, you shared across industries. While I know those were CPG and pharma was like your domain, but you shared a lot from other industries as well. Himashini, hope you're liking and you're inspiring many women across India to join Women in Big Data India. I already got quite a few requests, so thank you. And Dr. Abhilasha, as always, passionate and a wonderful volunteer and an executive council member for us. She's growing chapters. I think next month, I think January 2022, we are opening up 4 more chapters across different parts of the country and in states that we haven't. So hopefully Kit and Bhubaneswar and Odisha will be one of them. Thank you. Thank you all for joining today.
Thank you for this.
Thank you, Madhushruti. Thank you, Soumya. Thank you all.